Welcome to Voices of the Writers. I'm your host, Adam Scull, bringing you a new dimension of poetry readings, songwriters, vignettes, and stories with music and sounds for the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast. Discover new writers. Learn about their huge body of work on Eat, Sleep, Write. Mama's Prayer, written and read by Philip Kent Church.
From her mother's grasp, she let go of his hand, her little boy becoming a little man. And as he read headlong without a care, she could only bow her head and said a mama's prayer. As the big old world he gleefully chased, returning less and less for Mom's embrace, when she saw young love take his heart to tear, she sadly bowed her head and said a mama's prayer. Well, then her boy left home to seek success. Treasured calls to his mom grew less and less. When she pined for her son with sad despair, she daily bowed her head and said a mama's prayer. Well, her boy was doing things she didn't understand, but where she saw a boy now, the world saw a man. When he flew so high where eagles dare, she fearfully bowed her head and said a mama's prayer. Well, finally, from the lofty heights he fell. He was on his way down that highway to hell. She bravely stood in the gap, the devil himself to dare. Defiantly she bowed her head and said a mama's prayer. As he chased the ways of this world and all that pleases, but she could only watch as the world tore her son to pieces. Finally, his wretchedness caused others to just stop and stare. And one final time, she bowed her head and said a mom's prayer. Well, beaten down by years of living by the sword, now a broken man, he turned to the Lord. He thanked God above for preserving him with love and care, and the reply was simple. Welcome home, boy. I always heard your mama's prayer.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Voices of the Writers, located at eatsleepwrite.net, bringing you a new dimension of poetry, songwriters, vignettes and stories with music and sounds, for Eat, Sleep, Write. We would like to hear from you. Engage with us. Send your comments and questions to comments@eatsleepwrite.net, or leave a comment at the end of the podcast page. Join us again for Voices of the Writers on Eat, Sleep, Write.